Hi everybody, welcome back to Tunes91. I'm here to do an updated starting lineup. I love doing these at least once or twice a year. I've kind of made it so that I do it twice a year at this point because I like to do the fall and winter selections as one video and the spring and summer selections as another video. So, as you all may know, a long time ago, Cutlass Supreme SL, Brendan made this really good, interesting concept for a list of fragrances that you have to choose per category. They are your signature scent, your work scent, your going out scent, your in between the sheets scent, your upper scale scent, and your daring scent. So there are 6 in total. As I'm sure most of the connoisseurs will know, this is a staple in every fragrance reviewer's collection of videos that they do. And for good reason. I think it's really interesting and fun and kind of gives you a gauge of where we're at in our taste and how our taste kind of changes over time. So I love doing these. I'm going to kind of go through, I'm going to make mine a little bit different this time because I want to kind of tell you some runner-ups that I would have, maybe one per each category. So starting off is your signature scent. It should be no surprise for anyone that's been on my channel for a long time, any subscribers that have been around for a while. It is Royal Oud by Creed. I absolutely adore this fragrance. It is one of my, well, it probably is my favorite scent of all time. And the only one that kind of comes up close to it as far as a signature scent goes is Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille, which is tied with Royal Oud for my favorite fragrance of all time. So those two I could consider to be my signature scents for the fall and the winter, but Creed Royal Oud does beat it by a smidge. For versatility alone, pretty much, it is one of those scents that I feel like you can wear anytime, and to me, a signature scent should be pretty versatile. So Royal Oud is my choice for that category. Next up we have our work scent. Now for me, a work scent should be, it should smell good, obviously. It should be something that would be pleasing to the general population. For that, you could find a lot of different scents that are in the designer realm of the fragrance game. And if you're going to go the niche route, I would think that you would choose one that would be a little bit more friendly to the general population. So I went with Amouage Reflection Man. This is, I believe, my 4th bottle I've gone through. It is one of my favorite fragrances of all time, and it gets a lot of compliments. It's easy to wear. I can wear it both in spring and summer, as well as the fall and the winter, but I do think that it definitely performs best in the fall and the winter, so that is my choice for my fall and winter pick for work. But a runner-up would be Chanel's Allure Homme Sport. I think that that's a very good one, both for pretty much for every single season, just because it has that citrusy vibe with the sandalwood and the vanilla, and it just works really well and lasts a long time on my skin, and they're both huge people pleasers. So Amouage Reflection Man, work scent. Next up is the going out fragrance, and for me, it kind of always bounces around. It really depends on what my mood is, but I tend to go for sweeter fragrances when it comes to going out, seeing how is, for the most part in my experience, if you're going out to have fun, sweet fragrances kind of embody that whole concept of fun, and they tend to be huge compliment getters. So if you're looking for something like that, like I do, you're not going to reach for something like Le Labo's Oud 27. You're going to reach for Givenchy Plain Tense, Allure Homme Sport, Sauvage by Dior, those kinds of scents. But for me, I'm going to go with Atelier Cologne's Café Tuberosa, which is a new favorite of mine. It is really sexy. It's kind of like it's tuberose, very tamed tuberose, by the way, because tuberose can be a smidge pissy sometimes. But it's tuberose and coffee, And the coffee is like a really nice, bold, rich, dark coffee. You get some sugary elements in there, and just a really nice, subdued animalic tuberose, and it plays really, really well on the skin. And I find it to be very interesting how the coffee, since coffee tends to be a little bit overpowering, it can take over the other notes in the fragrances, plays well with an overpowering floral note, since tuberose also takes over notes, so they kind of like battle for the center of the stage. And I really like the way that it plays out throughout the life of the fragrance, and it lasts a really good long time on my skin as well. But a compliment getter, very interesting, not very interesting, but it's an interesting one. Good take on top tuberose. And a runner-up for me would be New Harlem by Bond No. 9. And I could also mention Montel's Intense Cafe, which has also made it in my list. I do love the kind of chocolatey, coffee, floral combination. I could also mention Noir de Noir by Tom Ford, if I could get my words straight in my mouth. So I love the combination of florals and chocolate and coffee, so you see that playing out throughout other lists that I've made. My in between the sheets type scent, my cozy scent, the scent that my girlfriend tends to love on me and always compliments and always makes me feel cozy. It's like a personal invitation for her to be cuddly with me, whatever you want to call it, is actually kind of a surprising one, I think. It is Vanilla Flash by Andy Tower. This stuff was love at first spray. When I bought a decant maybe a year ago, it was instantaneous how I fell in love with this one. And you know, it comes in a 30 ml bottle, and you really don't need that many sprays. It's like 3 sprays and you're good. Lasts forever. But it's a really nice take on vanilla. It's kind of a tobacco-y, cakey type vanilla. If you like Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford, I would definitely check this out because it's a fraction of the price, and it also has just as good projection and longevity, but it's also a little bit more subdued than Tobacco Vanille in the sense that it doesn't have all those overwhelming spices and whatnot, and it's more about the vanilla than it is about the tobacco. Definitely a good pick for me personally. I think a few of the other fragrances that I could mention for this particular category would be also the Almouage Reflection Man. She does compliment that one all the time. She loves that stuff. And she also loves Black Orchid by Tom Ford. So for me, that's my pick this time around. Next up, we have the Daring scent. And I have so many things I could choose for a Daring scent because there's plenty, you know, at this point in my fragrance career, I guess you could call it, my fragrance journey, there have been so many fragrances that I've tried that I've absolutely been head over heels in love with that people around me really don't like. Musc Ravageur would be my staple for that of all time, because I adore it and people tend to hate it 100%. But I like to change this category up a little bit every time I do this video, because there are so many different selections that I could choose. So going based off of what I consider to be the nastiest shit that I own, to put it bluntly, it is literally just an oil that I've got, and it is civet oil. This stuff, literally, you touch around the outside of it, it's closed, and it's on your fingers. It's absolutely vile. I like to layer it with stuff once in a while, just to kind of see how what the outcome would be, and it's never really anything anyone finds to be pleasant, so I do like that one. I could mention, you know, Oud 27, Cure by Mona D'Orio. People hate it. I love that stuff. It's like fucking cowboy. But I'm also going to mention a fragrance, you know, just to kind of veer away just from the plain old oil here. Egoist by Chanel. I really don't know how anyone could hate this. It's sandalwood and lavender and vanilla and cinnamon. And one of my all-time favorites ever, would make my top 10 list, and people cannot stand it. So I would choose that one as the actual bottle of fragrance to be my Daring scent for this year's winter choice. And last but not least, you gotta dress up. You gotta wear the cashmere sweater. You gotta wear a blazer. I like to dress this up and dress it down. But like for me, I'm wearing like a black t-shirt and dress pants and a charcoal blazer and some genuine leather boots and going out or something to a nice restaurant or whatever it may be. This does the trick. This is Mason Francis Kurkdjian's Grand Soir. It is easily probably in my top 15 or 20 favorites of all time. One of my favorite gourmands ever made, and at this point probably my favorite MFK release. And in times in the past for my upper scale fragrance, I've chosen scents like Tuscan Leather, which is also one of my all-time favorites and a very luxurious fragrance at that, as well as Cuir Beluga by Guerlain. I tend to like the gourmand route, as we all can see, but I really like, again, the kind of floral or leathery take on upper scale fragrances. So I hope you all enjoyed. This is my 2018 video for winter and fall choices for my starting lineup. I love every one of these scents, and I hope you all can have the opportunity to check some of them out at some point in time. I will talk to you all later, and stay tuned for more reviews.